John. I forgot my opening, so here it is.
Ooh, I like that one.
The trick to improvising music is to get a beginning and an end that sound like you meant to do it. I mean, I'm not a professional improviser of music or maybe anything, but I find that if you can, we've talked about this, if you can get that drum fill at the end, it's going to sound pro. So I
Yeah.
need a soundboard to fill in a drum fill at the end, or a small drum kit that I can play while doing this, or a crew. I just need a production crew, a 27-person podcast production crew. I have a chair that I want to do this from. I'd love to sit in a different comfortable chair, but then I lose my cockpit of control, the cockpit like of a spaceship flying towards the sun.
Cockpit of control.
It's true.
I'd settle for a chair with a back. I have a
Stool?
backless stool, yeah, but it raises and lowers. And I prefer to stand during the day. I don't like to sit. So this stool goes up and down with me.
When you're feeling the stress of a day, you ever walk out, let the sun just wash over you, feel that basking in the light of the rays of nature. Does that ever happen? Am I the only one?
No, I absolutely do. And it's good for you.
How is it good
Especially,
for you? Vitamin D's?
yeah, and it like sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning sets your circadian rhythm, and
Hmm.
it's directly tied to sleep.
How long could you
So
go without sun before you just lost it?
I don't know. Think about those poor. Well, generally they've done something bad to be in solitary confinement, but think about being locked up in solitary confinement with no sun for like 30 days or whatever.
I think I could go 30 hours and then I'd lose it. I'd just go bananas. I would like start singing poetry backwards after 30 hours of no sun.
I yeah, I mean, I have to this time of year in Kentucky is very gray, and it's a challenge. Like I really have to keep my head down and just not pay attention. But on days like today when the sun's out, it it feels like um, you've been let out of school for recess. You know, that kind of feeling. It's like it's
Yeah.
time to play.
I I live for 2 seconds at a time of nice sunshine on my face. I can remember and name specific moments of sunshine from my life. I'm not going to name them, so you can stop waiting. But I could name a handful of specific moments, and the only thing I remember is being like, "It's good to be alive," sunshine on my face, and that's it, man. That was like the whole. It's like it's unbelievable. I was basically a John Denver song for
Okay,
those five
so
times of
I'm
my
glad you
life.
went there. I'm glad you went there. So we need three famous songs evoking sunshine.
Blue skies, the Willie Nelson one. Blue skies,
Yeah, but
smiling on
there's
me.
no sunshine in that.
Can't have blue skies without sunshine, Terry. It's science.
No, I went the word sunshine.
The word is not the thing that I'm interested in. It is the evocation, the evoking of sunshine, which must have blue skies.
You mentioned
Otherwise, the song would just be gray skies.
John Denver.
I hate that song. What's the song called? Sunshine on My Shoulder. Is that the one I'm
Sounds
thinking of?
good. That's what everybody will think it's called, even if it's not, because
God,
that's the most prominent part.
I don't understand the lyrics. You know how I feel about lyrics, but I do not understand the lyrics.
Makes him
This,
happy.
but then sunshine on my something almost always makes him cry, right?
Yeah, I only know the happy part of the song, of the
Well, I don't know
lyric.
if it's tears of sadness. It just makes him cry.
Another famous one. Um, if you steal my sunshine. It was a brother and sister, and I can't remember the name that they played under. Um, The guy had a real raspy voice, like whispery, raspy voice. If you
This
steal my
this is like the
sunshine.
popular song from.
Yeah.
I didn't. This seems much too famous for you to have ever heard about it.
It was like in the 90s
Yeah,
when I was at an age where I was exposed to radio
like against your will.
against my will. Yeah.
I everything I know about music came from the radio, really, and then everything else branched out after that.
One more sunshine song.
It wasn't LFO, was it? Steal My Sunshine. I know it's a sample of the sample is famous too. Do
Yeah.
do 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 do
Yeah.
do do do. You steal. I know. It's not up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm. That's.
That's two.
I didn't have that song on my bingo card for Terry to ever bring up ever in my whole life.
Is that going on the playlist?
Yeah, it's going on the playlist. I don't even know the name of the song. It's "Steal Something Sunshine"
If you
by
steal my
somebody.
sunshine, the lady, the female sings the "If you steal my sunshine," that part,
Len.
right?
The band is Len.
Lynn. That's what
I
I
would.
said.
Did you say that?
I think so.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You said that.
I did.
Definitely. I
It's
said
a
LFO, which was wrong, and I think I knew it was wrong. Um, those are the only songs that have ever been written about sunshine that
we need
matter. John
no,
Denver
no.
and Len.
We need one more.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
No.
Because it's not a real song title, or because it's not about sun.
I want a real song about sun with sun in the lyrics somewhere.
Okay, sunbeams over.
Jesus don't want me for a sunbeam.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I don't. How is that about the sun? No,
Yeah.
is that so? What's Jesus don't want me for a
The
sunbeam?
Vaselines did it
That's
originally.
dang. And who made it famous?
Kurt, Nirvana. They did it on the Unplugged record.
Oh yeah, okay. That record's pretty good. I think. I feel like whenever there's a Nirvana song that I haven't heard before, despite it being years ago, then I'll be like, "Oh wow, I can't believe I haven't heard this Nirvana song." It's always on that Unplugged album, and then I'm like, "Man, I should probably listen to this Unplugged album." Never do it. I'm still discovering. I think I'm afraid that if I go listen to it through, then I'll stop discovering unknown Nirvana songs, and I'll be tapped out. They're not putting out another live album.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a lot darker than I intended it to be.
Yeah. And you said it with glee too. Like you really emphasized like it was intentional.
I mean, if you emphasize the live part of the
Well,
live
they'll never
album,
be playing that while I begin. I think I've never been more excited for the release of a song than the what's the name of that? I know the whole song, I just don't know the name of it. Verse, chorus, verse, maybe. Um Pain. You know you're right. That
you know
Nirvana
you're
song.
right.
Yeah, because that was years after his death, and I guess that was one that was like a B side or an outtake from the In Utero recording.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, so they released that later, like years later, and I was really, really happy about that. I like the song.
If you were going to ride on a submarine on a mission underneath the sea, it could be an exploratory mission or a military mission. It's your choice. What what song would you be listening to as a substitute for not having any sun?
We all live in a yellow submarine.
That feels like a tongue in cheek answer. You'd be committing murder under the sea if you did that.
All right. Explain the ground rules to me again.
Well, it's more of the scenario. The
Explain the
ground rule
scenario.
is just pick a song
I know that.
that
Yeah.
you'd listen to, but the scenario is you're on a submarine.
Okay.
Let's say you're on a mission where you don't have to be quiet. So it's a deep sea exploration mission. So you don't have to be quiet. It's okay. It's okay to disrupt the wildlife of the deep sea. You're surveying heretofore unknown subspecies of octopus
Octopi.
and octopus and anglerfish, which isn't really a fish. It's a group of fish. Are you familiar with the anglerfish?
I don't know, but your flex, you flex all the time on species.
Yeah.
You you've got to do something in zoology.
Anglerfish have a lure, usually on the forehead area or protruding up from the chin area. So maybe like in the deep sea where there's no light, it could be a small bioluminescence on their forehead, and then other fish are attracted to the bioluminescent lure, and then the anglerfish chomps them.
To their doom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's a bunch of different types of anglerfish. It's not just the one lure forehead. The anglerfish that everybody's thinking of in their mind. There's other there's other types. Did you have an anglerfish in your mind? Of
I
course you
picture
did.
I picture a rooster's head on a fish.
That seems like the kind of thing you'd find in the deep. So anyway, there you are. You're down there in the ocean. You're gonna be more than 30 hours without sunshine. Probably you could be 2 weeks without sunshine on this submarine. It's yellow for fun, but it's not like the submarine's not fun. It's serious scientific
It's
work
dark.
being done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean everything's dark at the depths you guys are going to. It's you and a skeleton crew, and your job on the mission. Like you're in charge of piloting the sub. There's an AI that actually flies the sub or does the driving, but you're the human supervision of the AI. So you kind of have to make sure the AI is still working right, and also you're also the DJ and the fry cook. Because when you're doing submarine exploration, you have to wear multiple hats.
Multiple hats.
So you got
Yeah.
that camo hat on. You're headed for the depths. You DJ, what are you going to put on your iPod Shuffle?
Probably Suspicious Minds.
Okay, tell me
The
about the
Dwight
song.
the Dwight Yoakam version.
Did you
So it's
pronounce
an
it Dwight?
yeah, Dwight Yoakam.
Is there an
Yoakam.
apostrophe in that?
No. You have to know who Dwight Yoakam is.
No, I know who. Well, okay, I know the name Dwight Yoakam, but I'm
The
struggling with the
spelling.
pronunciation. No, the pronunciation.
Oh, Dwight.
I thought that was pronounced Dwight.
Dwight.
Dwight. I thought it was pronounced Dwight.
I mean, you're maybe
I'm
glossing it.
for the record. I am not. This is not a joke. I honestly thought the name was pronounced
Dwight.
Dwight,
Dwight.
and you were pronouncing it Dwight.
Dwight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the southern pronunciation. The
Why is there
correct
an extra
pronunciation.
syllable?
It's a pause. White. D
You
White.
would spell Dwight D apostrophe
No.
Wight.
No.
How
Dwight.
can we be? We only live a few hundred miles apart from each other, and I feel like this is something I've never heard before in my life. That you would
Dwight.
pronounce that name. That fine. The song is "Suspicious Minds," and you're
Yeah.
choosing this. Why?
Um, because the main hook line of the song is "We're caught in a trap,"
That's
and
dark.
if I'm a fry cook, DJ, AI specialist on a yellow submarine at the depths where we're investigating anglerfish and octopi, that's a trap.
Just to be
So,
clear, I'm most impressed that you actually carried that whole scenario through. I
well,
was pretty sure I was going to lose you.
I was taking notes. I
So
was
how does
taking
the
internal
mission
notes.
end?
There's probably an implosion, like the thing that happened to the people. Like, and I shouldn't laugh about this, but you know, the thing that happened to the people at depth on the thing that should have never been down at the depth. That's
Right.
probably what's going to happen. Those places where you shouldn't be have a way of letting you know very directly that you shouldn't be there.
I would say the way that the depths let you know to stay out is by having a complete and total lack of sunshine.
Yeah. I
This isn't
wonder
the
if I wonder if the anglerfish or whatever they're called and those things that exist at that depth even know what the sunshine is. Is this breaking
How would
news?
anything know what the sunshine is?
What? Why did we get that in the middle?
It was a break. It felt like
Oh,
a really clean break. We talked about doing it, so I just decided to do it. It was a
oh,
clean break to do the things at the depth even know what sunshine is. Of course they don't.
yeah.
No, if you've never experienced sun, you can't be like a person who needs to go out in the sun and feel the vitamin D and what do you say the circadian rhythms be reset?
Yeah.
Like who cares? You could have, say you're a small sea creature, yeah, and you're living off of the chemical emissions of a vent in the seafloor, right? That's where you get your vitamin D and your
That's your
iron.
son. Yeah, that's your son.
Yeah, it might as well be. That's a good point. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
But so you're like, oh, I just want to bask in the calcium deposit.
So
Oh, I
would
love these calciums. And you and me are like, sunshine, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
It makes me feel small to think of how few uh, creatures have ever experienced a warm, sunny day. I'm
Yeah.
sure, yeah, like billions of living things over all of human history or all of natural history. But still, I mean, there's planets all over the place. We don't even know how many. And it's how many suns are there? You look up in the sky, every place you see a star, that's another sun.
Would
There could be alien Terry on every one of those star systems. Have a galaxy, and each galaxy has a Terry in it. We would never know.
would you be shocked if this was the only planet? This was the only galaxy?
I mean, ironically, no. Like I wouldn't be shocked either way. There could be an infinite number of Terrys recording an infinite number of podcasts, and I would be just as shocked if that was true as if this was the only one. Both of those would be zero shock to me.
Like really zero shock?
Yeah, because I've just put it all out of my mind. There are certain things where I'll just decisively and definitively make up in my mind that I just don't know, and then once I don't know, pff, forget about it.
Yep. I'm with you there. Like there's a lot of things, even tangible things in this now. Like there are a lot of things for me like Syria or whatever geopolitical hotspot. I don't know. I don't know anybody who knows. I don't know anybody who knows anybody who knows. Like
Dude,
it
I love that. Not, I mean, not. I don't love that that's the case. I just love that line of reasoning.
I don't. And unless you are in the room where the things are being read about, assuming that that even happens, like we don't know. We don't know any of that stuff. Like
I
I once here. This is how I've put all this, the sins of my youth, the intellectual sins of my youth, where I've read some books, so I've got this position. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I've put all that behind me because like health, like well behind me. It's not even a thing. I still vote. I still pay attention, all that stuff, but I'm not a fire breather. And here's why. I had a problematic relationship that I couldn't end. How am I like an expert on the war situation in some foreign country? Like that's just not in my it's not in my expertise range. I try to vote for people who I feel like take the time to learn about it as best they can. That's how I try to vote. But I love to hear people of any persuasion talk definitively about something that they know nothing about, or
I
no,
mean,
or they don't know anyone who knows anything about it. Like, did you do the research for this thing? Did you do the experiment? I'll listen to you. Or do you have on the line the person or people who did the experiment? I'll listen to you. Otherwise, I don't care.
what if that person doesn't even exist though?
Then I don't believe it.
What if we're all just fish spinning each other yarns with little bioluminescent dingle dangles over our head? Did you ever see? You ever
I
see the
think
movie?
so. I
Did you ever
think
see the
so.
movie Men in Black?
I haven't.
Can I ruin the movie Men in Black for you?
For sure, because I'll never see it.
All right, studio audience, please cover your ears if you haven't seen Men in Black and
Both
you
of
want to
you.
know what happens. Both of you, earmuffs. All right, so the plot of Men in Black, the movie, is that there are aliens come to Earth, but they've been here all along, and there's a secret agency, the Men in
Mm,
Black, who are responsible for keeping relative peace and calm between the aliens that are passing through Earth and the oblivious humans. And the immediate plot of the movie is that there's a bad alien that's come to Earth, and the Men in Black are trying to stop the bad alien from going on a rampage. But then the deeper question is, why is the bad alien on Earth in the first place? And it was to escape from some sort of intergalactic conflict. But then, much like the Twilight Zone used to use "It Was All a Dream" at the end of of episodes to sort of just like, none of this mattered. It was all a dream. Wouldn't it be crazy if Men in Black ends with uh, the galaxy that in which we reside being a bauble on a cosmic cat's necklace, like on its bell. And that's, I don't know. It's been a while since I saw the movie, but the point was everything is we're some little doodad decorating the collar of a cosmic cat, and the aliens are playing marbles with us, like the cosmic gods are playing marbles with us, or something like that. And that was it. And it was just like a quick little nod at the end of the movie. So it might have been an allegory more than a
yeah.
plot point. But it's just like you never know, and everything could always be wrong. And I was thinking as I was preparing the Sunshine episode, which is this one, I was like, what about people that live where there's very little sunshine, like far north, where you get a month or two of night in a shot? People that are up near the Arctic Circle, there's people that live there and they have long, long stretches, or people that will spend part of the winter. There's very few of them, but spend part of the winter in Antarctica. That's like barely any light. Maybe the sunshine thing is just for that big chunk of us that live kind of close to the equator, where it's real temperate. And then I'm thinking, uh, what? Who can I even relate to if not sunshine? If I don't have
Yeah.
sunshine in common with the rest of the globe, what do I have? And then I had like a little mini existential crisis. And like, no, that was just between the top of the stairs and the bottom of the stairs while I headed down to the studio. I can't even imagine if you give
So,
me more time to ponder this.
is there anything better than you're up early, not too early, but you're up early, you see like out the window, the sky has this violet hue almost with patches of orange and red at the bottom. And then, I don't know, 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later, blaring sunball in your face. Is there anything better than that? Like, that is legitimately one of my favorite things in the world.
I don't think so, and I think that's why solitary would be so bad.
Oh, I'd die. I would lose it. I'd figure it out, probably. At least I like to think I would. But
I think I would retreat into a mind castle where I imagined that the ant pushing a grain of sand was in fact the sunrise.
that was your son. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I do think that if I could push everything else aside, no music, no art, no relationships with anybody, no nothing, just I'm nothing but one person with the feeling of a nice sunrise or sunset, just experiencing that. Even if it was like just a couple of days of that, I'd be like, existence completed. We're good. Send me on to the next existence if there is one. I'd be like, boxes all checked.
So, my thing when I go to beaches, which is yearly, my thing is I don't care where, I don't care why I'm there, mostly for vacations, obviously, but I run on the morning early enough so that like I'm well into the run as the sun peaks up over the clouds. And it's my favorite thing in the world. Favorite thing in the world.
Does your
Love it.
year build up to that?
Oh, I try to do it whenever I can. Like there's no. So if you're asking, like from now, as the day is increasing by a minute per day, and to summer solstice, yeah, conceptually
No,
that, but
I'm thinking more like Terry and the guys gonna grab the jet skis and a couple of cases of Bud Light. Summer fishing retreat. Hey
no.
guys, it's I've just been work's got me down and I've been going through some stuff, and it's just really great to get this time with you guys to go run with a sunrise. That
I
kind of
thought
looking forward
I
to
thought
it.
there were Bud Lights and fishing poles involved.
The guys are up early to go fish, but you've got to run to attend to.
Gotcha. Kind of that
No,
way.
not that kind of looking forward to it.
No, I don't. I don't know. What do you look forward to?
I don't know. This is we've only had two episodes that ended really firmly with total lack of closure.
This one's headed that
This is
direction.
the second one. So this is it's actually it's funny to me what the two episodes were. So when we talked about mentorship,
Mm,
we ended feeling like we'd opened more questions and more
yeah.
difficult cans of worms than we'd ever closed. Neither of us felt closer to any mentorship.
Oh.
Neither of us felt like we'd resolved any of our need for guidance. And now you're asking me what I look forward to in the context of sunshine, and I can't even say sunshine as the answer. I mean, I think it's sunshine, but is it the literal sunshine that I'm looking forward to? Is it metaphorical sunshine? Is it is it the next sunshine? Is the memory of the last sunshine sufficient as a thing to look forward to? Terry, I don't know. You got me
Do,
all twisted around.
do you think that you have the ability to be present for the tendency is if you live near the mountains, you take the mountains for granted. If you live near the ocean, you take the ocean for granted. You see the sun come up every morning, you take the sun for granted. Do you feel like you have the ability to be present in something like that every day?
I mean, every day is a stretch. I'm a small-minded person, and when it really comes down to it, so every day might be a stretch. But if I'm enjoying, there are certain things that I enjoy that while enjoying them, I think that never gets old. And I watched the sunset tonight with both boys. It was cold. The sun was going down. Explosion of clouds in the sky. Fronts coming through. Very dramatic. Big trees, like piles of ice and snow, like sun blasting off the ground, the same like orange off the snow and stuff, snow and ice. It's frozen over, so it's like literally reflecting like a mirror back up in spots. And my 3-year old is like, "That's the sunset," and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that is the sunset."
Kid.
And he's like, "This guy gets it. This guy
Yeah,
gets it." And then I'm like, then my existential crisis is resolved. So yeah,
I love it.
I guess I look forward to sunshine.
I look forward to it every single morning. I never take it for granted. Never take it for granted. Like when it's in my, I have to turn intentionally because I run so early to catch like the first bit of it. I have to turn intentionally to take it in. I intentionally do it every morning because I'm looking forward to it. I love the sun. Love the sun.
Who loves the sun? That's a great song that's not about sunshine. Go for a run tomorrow. I'll see you after your run.
Who loves the sun? Now I gotta look. Now I have to Google.
Bye, Terry.